What are some of the top motor oil myths?
So that's a really good question, and one of the motor oil myths that we hear a lot is that all oils are dirty. So as soon as the oil is poured into the engine, it's a dirty oil. At Pennzoil oils, we pride ourselves on delivering clean technology and clean performance from all of our product line. At Pennzoil we use active cleansing agents through in Pennzoil Conventional, our high mileage, our Pennzoil Gold and Pennzoil Platinum products. And that active cleansing technology is designed to clean up sludge, gently remove sludge from engines which are already dirty, but also to help keep the engine clean. And our goal is to always try to keep the engine in as close to the clean condition that the engine was when it left the factory. I think our lofty goals in particular we try to meet through our Pennzoil Ultra formulation, which is our ultra class synthetic, our top tier product, and we recently released the new formulation of Pennzoil Ultra GF5. Pennzoil Ultra keeps pistons 65% cleaner than the industry GF5 standard, and it also it keeps pistons 25% cleaner even than Mobil 1. So we're really proud of that achievement, and I think it really blows the myth that motor oils are dirty. Our motor oil is definitely clean.
I think the other myth I still continue to hear a lot is on synthetics, and that is you can't switch between conventional and synthetics and you can't go back. Some of that's rooted in the belief that synthetics are developed so thin, and that's actually not true at all. But one of the things is with synthetics, it actually offers some really good properties, especially in cold and hot temperatures. So when you think about the cold flow properties of a synthetic, it's really a great opportunity to use it in those cold temperatures and then kind of go back to conventional along the way.
As vehicle engines have continued to evolve, so has the requirement for more advanced motor oils due to increased engine power, bearing loads, engine RPMs, and operating temperatures, among other factors. Please elaborate.
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So all the automakers across the world are focused on trying to improve the efficiency of their engines to meet the emerging CAFE standards for fuel economy and emissions. And one of the important ways they're doing that is to downsize their engines, building smaller engines but with higher specific power outputs. And that puts more load and more stress on the oil. The oil has to cope with higher temperatures, and also the bearings get more load put on them. And as we sort of we see the automakers designing engines for reduced fuel consumption, reduced oil consumption. They're able to build engines with much tighter tolerances. So again, that just increases the load and the stress on the oil. At Pennzoil, we're busy working with major manufacturers to work with them to try and design oils that meet those emerging specifications, so that you can be confident if you're buying a Pennzoil motor oil that oil has been developed alongside OEMs and meets the requirements of all of these emerging engines.
And I think the other thing is, one of the common things that Ian talked about is clearly engines are becoming smaller, and that's for more horsepower. The other part of this is turbochargers are becoming more and more popular. All that really leads to a lot more heat, which leads to a lot more piston deposits, a lot more sludge, which is what's critical about Pennzoil, and the fact that it really is about clean and piston deposits. When we talk about Ultra being 65% cleaner than the industry standard, having something better than the industry standard is so critical as part of that.
Yeah.
Do you foresee any great advances/changes in motor oil formulations happening over the next year or two?
Well, I think the most important change that we'd like to talk about right now is the introduction of the new Pennzoil Ultra GF5 formulation. That's the culmination of our continual development of our ultra class synthetic motor oil, and it brings into the market a unique formulation with advanced ultra cleansing technology, but also special friction reduction. That allows us allows Pennzoil Ultra to give your engine, get your engine running in the most efficient way possible, and also to keep the engine as clean as almost as clean as when the engine left the factory. So we're really proud of that at Pennzoil. That's quite a significant step forward already in terms of our technology. Looking a little bit further, we're working with automakers and car makers to help them to deliver improved fuel economy, improved fuel efficiency, but always focusing at the same time on our goal of keeping our engines as close to factory clean as possible, so that you're getting the benefit of the engine running in that tip-top condition all the way through its life.
And I think the other thing is, as a marketer, we always talk about is there's a famous line from Wayne Gretzky about scoring goals is never skate where the puck is, skate to where the puck is going to be. So when you think about synthetics, and one of the trends in the industry right now is consumers more and more are moving towards synthetics. Some of that's OEM shift, some of it is for consumers looking for better benefits. That's where we want to be, is we want to establish ourselves as the best synthetic out there. And so we're on that way with Pennzoil Ultra as part of that too, but we've talked about engines and how they require more horsepower. Synthetic's going to be part of that equation to help that happen.
Why is the industry shifting from wear to cleansing, and how is it achieving this?
So I'm not sure the industry is really shifting away from wear. Wear is obviously an important table stake, but to be honest, at Pennzoil, that's sort of the entry ticket to the dance. We are unsurpassed. Our Pennzoil Ultra is unsurpassed in terms of wear protection, and we set very high standards for all of our Pennzoil portfolio to make sure that an engine gets the right protection that it deserves. To do that, to really protect an engine, though, you do need to focus. We believe you need to focus on keeping the engine clean, and so the primary aim of our Pennzoil developments is to keep that engine clean, to prevent those high temperature deposits from forming, to clean up sludge when it's been formed in maybe an older vehicle.
And I think the other thing, as a leader in motor oil, it's really up to us to kind of define where we want to go. So for us in Pennzoil, as we start developing, we definitely feel that clean's a great place for us, for all the reasons we've talked about with engines being a lot smaller, for all the things that Ian have said. So for us, it's about where do we want to go and how do we make it important for the consumer and the OEM manufacturer as part of that equation also.
Basically, aren't all motor oils the same? Why or why not?
Well, I hope in the answers to the previous 4 questions we've given you some indication of how Pennzoil Ultra is and the Pennzoil portfolio is quite different from many other motor oils in the market today. So motor oils aren't all the same. A lot of our competitors meet the latest industry standards, but they don't go beyond the specifications, and they don't always meet all of the major OEM requirements. So at Pennzoil, we set ourselves stretching goals. And we do that because Pennzoil is the most trusted motor oil brand in the US, and it's important that we continue to build that trust through giving customers more technology and more performance and protection through clean.
And I think for us, a lot of motor oils can meet industry standards, and so it's not just about doing what everybody else does or doing what the industry wants us to do. It's about how do we separate ourselves apart from the industry and have our consumers understand why use Pennzoil, why choose Pennzoil. So when you look at what an oil can do, and you look at part of the industry standard around clean, sludge protection, piston deposit protection is all part of keeping an engine clean, and that's what we do, and that's what a lot of our competitors do. However, where Pennzoil separates himself is really in our active cleansing technology, or even our hyper cleansing technology. It's about really cleaning up what lesser oils have left behind. So the ability for us to remove sludge that was previously on there from a previous oil change and really capture it and hold it and then remove it at the oil change is something completely different than many other oil companies have ever had out there.